Welcome to today's webinar on disruptive technology. The title is Benefits and Constraint of Chat-GPT in Academic and Industry Perspective. Actually, this is the fifth webinar organized by Faculty of Management and Information Technology, Universiti Sultan Azlan Shah. So I'm thrilled to have all of you join us today as we delve into the fascinating world of AI and its impact on academic and industry. I'm Azizi bin Ahmad, your moderator for today's session. Before we dive in, let's take a moment to introduce our esteemed panelists. We have distinguished panel of experts joining us today, each bringing a wealth of knowledge and experience to our discussion. With us, which is online right now, Yang Bahagia Datuk TS Dr. Haji Amaruddin Abdul Wahab, the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Cybersecurity Malaysia. Welcome, Datuk. How are you, Datuk?
Fine, thank you. Alhamdulillah, Cik Azizi.
If I'm not mistaken, last time we met at PUO during the convocation. So I spoke to Datuk. Our intention to invite Datuk as a panel. Alhamdulillah, Datuk. Thank you for joining us. And our second panelist here, Associate Professor TS Dr. Jafrizal Jaafar, the Deans of Faculty of Computer and Information Sciences, University Technology Petronas, UTP. Welcome. Assalamualaikum. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, last about not too far, not too about 2 and 3 years ago. Okay. Datuk Dr. Jafrizal used to be my lecturer. I know him since 2003, so it's quite a long time, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Okay, before we proceed, maybe I could tell the audience the background of our panelists. Okay, for your information, Datuk TS Dr. Haji Amaruddin, the CEO of Cybersecurity, a cybersecurity specialist and technical agency that monitor severity of the country. And he has more than 30 years of ICT working experience in the telecom and IT sector in both public as well as private sector. And Dato also got his PhD from School of Information Technology and Electrical Engineering, University of Queensland, Australia, Master in Business Administration, University of DQB, Iowa University, USA, and Master of Information Technology, double master, okay? Master of Information Technology, National University of Malaysia, UKM, and Bachelor of Science Engineering in Electrical Engineering from University of Michigan and Arbor, USA. And Dato received outstanding Chief Information Security Officer at the 10th ASEAN CIO CSO Summit and Award 2014 in Vietnam, which is Bestow Distinguished Alumni Award winner 2021 by Australian Alumni Awards. And on 28 June 2022, Dato was conferred 2022 World Digital Economy Distinguished Leader Award by the KSI Strategy Institute for Asia Pacific. And recently, Dato has been awarded Blockchain Icon of the year 2022, and he was awarded the honorary doctorate in Information Technology, Cybersecurity from University of Technical Melaka. Wow, what an impressive background of our panel. And for our second panel, Associate Professor TS Dr. Jafrizal Jaafar, currently Dean for Faculty of Computer and Information Sciences, University Technology Petronas. And Dr. Jafrizal is a senior member of IEEE, received in the Bachelor Science degree in Computer Science from University Technology Malaysia in 1998. The Master Application Science degree in IT from RMIT University Australia in 2002 and PhD degree from University of Edinburgh, UK in 2009. He joined the Department of Computer and Information Sciences, UTP, University of Petronas, in 1999, where he was appointed as the head from 2012 to 2016. He was the former head of the Center for Research in Data Science from 2017 to 2020, which focuses on the implementation of machine learning and predictive analytics in oil and gas industry. And he is currently an associate professor and the dean of Faculty of Science and Information Technology, UTP. Okay. So their unique perspective will provide valuable insight into today's topic. Thank you, you all for being here. Okay, today we are here to explore the advantage and the challenges posed by Chat-GPT in both academic and industry landscapes. As we know, Chat-GPT, an advanced language model developed by OpenAI, has sparked immense interest due to its remarkable language processing capability. Okay, let's start with a brief overview of Chat-GPT. This AI model is a part of generative pre-trained transformer, GPT, series, known for its ability to comprehend, process, and generate human-like text. Okay, yang berbahagia Datuk, could you share how Chat-GPT have impact the industry and also your sector? Please, Datuk.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning. Thank you, Encik Azizi, for inviting me and moderating the session today. And also to my distinguished panelist, Dr. Jeff Rizal. To answer that, maybe if it's okay, let me share a slide for us to go through. Is this okay?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, can you see? Okay, let me go through in maybe the next 15 to 20 minutes, a bit of background of the topics today, which is on benefits and constraints of Chat-GPT in academic and industry perspective. So, for example, in my case, will be more on the industry perspective. Before we talk about all Chat-GPT, about AI, etc., I think it's very important for us to start understanding our digital landscape today. Yeah, this will be the start. Yeah, and one thing that we know is that currently, if you look at these statistics, we are moving into a more interconnected cyberspace, whereby we have about 5.3 billion people, or about 65.7% of the global population are internet users. While in Malaysia, we have more in terms of percentage, which is about 96.8%, or about 33.03 million people are internet users in Malaysia. So the message here is that we are seeing that the world, the digital world, is now very much connected, and especially people connectivity. Yeah. But then one thing that we also need to understand on this digital landscape is no longer just about internet of people, but we can see now there are a lot of new and emerging technologies that also has emerged in our digital world. We can see, for example, Internet of Things, even Internet of Devices, or even some call even Internet of Everything, because everything will be connected. We see about the AR, the MR, the VR, all this augmented reality, virtual reality. We see 5G, we see blockchain, metaverse, quantum computing, and one of the current I would say topic that we will be discussing is related to what we call the AI, the artificial intelligence, because Chat-GPT basically leveraging on this AI technology. So these are the reality of the digital landscape, whereby no longer just about Internet of People. We can see now there are many new technology emerges. At the same time, we see that AI is one of those technologies that also add more complexities to the cyberspace, but at the same time catalyze the digital transformation initiative in all sectors. So what is AI? We've heard about this AI, artificial intelligence. But actually, just to share, AI is not new. The word AI, artificial intelligence, was coined in 1956 by Alan Turing, a mathematician. But then, it is actually a software that operates alone according to the program sequence. But then, why all of a sudden, after many, many years only, people talk about AI? Even though AI has been there, but it's not as pervasive as now. It is because, obviously, the world is not as connected as before. When 1956, even internet is no longer there. It was not there. But now, with all the connectivity that we've seen, not only internet of people, but internet of devices, internet of data, internet of processors, internet of everything, the ecosystem is much more ready. And as a result, you can see, and with emergence of new technologies, AI now become the hot topic that we are talking about nowadays. So let's see the landscape of AI in the world, especially in Malaysia, in ASEAN in particular. If you look at the statistics, Malaysia is not bad. We can see in terms of the government AI readiness, we are the top 2. We are actually the second in the ASEAN region, and also rank 29th globally. So it's not bad. That means the readiness to implement in the delivery of public services to the citizens. Okay, but then how Malaysia or how the world look at AI? There are various perspectives on this. But in generally, I would say opinions towards AI in Malaysia, in the ASEAN region, stands to believe that AI has more benefit than drawbacks. Especially as it is expected to change our daily life. Compared to other parts of the developed countries, they tend to less trust. So these are some of the situation, how the perspective or the opinions with regards to the AI. Why are we seeing those opinions? Because one thing, just like any other technology, AI is also a double-edged sword. It can be used for bad, it can be used for good. So for that reason, there are different perspectives. While we can make use of ICT or we can make use of AI for good, it can also be used for bad purposes. And that is why the importance of managing properly this technology. These are some of the examples, the advantages and the disadvantages. With AI, for example, it can improve efficiency, reduce human risk, assist in decision making, 24/7 operational, and also managing automatic repetitive tasks. These are the advantages. But then, while we talk about AI, it is also not perfect. It's lack of creativity or no creativity, need high quality of data, bias, high cost, expensive, and also issue of privacy. Let me show.
Place you can get to by a boat or a train is far, far away, behind the moon, beyond the rain. So where over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in another life. Somewhere over the rainbow, please fly, fly over the rainbow. Why then? Why can't I?
Okay. If you look at this video, maybe it looks funny, at least in Wonderland where we have Terminator or Arnold Schwarzenegger. These are some of the challenges of AI. It looks real. So you can even, for example, interview historical figures in the past, as if you were there. So AI can mimic as if it is real. Now this is part of what we call deepfake. So these are some of the challenges of AI technology. So while it is good, it can create issues, especially ethical issues. Yeah. So going back to some of the challenges of AI, I'm looking from the angle, for example, as a cybersecurity practitioner, from the angle of threats and attacks. These are, for example, some of the potential of how AI can be used to conduct attack. Poison injection, AI-powered malware, extraction, malicious GPT, etc., etc. I will be focusing on a few because it will take more and more time if I had to go through one each and all the threats. For example, deepfake. Just now we saw the deepfake. You can see how we can create images, very effective social engineering in terms of video or audio recording through calls and messages. So you may think that this is, for example, Tom Cruise, but in actual, it's not Tom Cruise. So they can become disinformation campaign, the spread of false information and videos that can manipulate public opinion, damage reputation, and affect the market. It can also increase social engineering fraud activities. So this is just one. Again, one of the disadvantages of in terms of AI comes to issue of cybersecurity, the AI-powered malware. So malware now become more and more advanced and intelligent. With the AI-powered malware, it is expected to collect data, formulate attack strategies, identify targets, and select attack types. So it can program and train to adapt to environment to avoid detection. That means while we try to protect our organization, they can use AI to I would say maneuver around so that they can avoid detection when they are trying to attack any enterprise or organization. So that's another type of threats. The other thing, and while we talk about Chat-GPT, etc., there's also another what we call it malicious GPT. This GPT allows attackers to customize hacking tools to suit their target. So you don't have to be expert, So you can use the tools that there, and then you can make advanced tools to attack to suit the targets. So this is another challenges when it comes to AI and also use, I would say, in the context of cybersecurity. The other thing on data poisoning, as I mentioned earlier, AI is all about programming, being programmed. We train the model. So sometimes the attacker can manipulate the training data so that model learns the wrong relationship. This can be done by introducing malicious data into the model's training set. So for example, they can train, even though you see dog, training the photo, then finally you say it's dog. But then if they can corrupt, can manipulate the data, even though it's a cat, but it can be translated as dog. So these are called data poisoning. So these are some of the challenges when it comes to AI. And the other thing, as I mentioned just now, people will will leverage on AI to deliver threats. These are some of the weapons, the method of how they're going to deliver, from reconnaissance, weaponization, delivery, exploitation, installation, C2 and act on objective. Okay, going back to the basic questions about Chat-GPT. And I'm trying to relate because just now I share about AI. Chat-GPT is related, but Chat-GPT is one of the application of AI. What is Chat-GPT? It's actually a language model developed by OpenAI, as mentioned, based on the GPT 3.5 architecture, designed for natural language understanding and generation. Normally, Chat-GPT is specifically tailored for tasks involving conversation, making it well suited for chatbot and virtual assistant and other applications that require human-like interaction. So more like a conversation. That's why you ask and then they give answer. And these are some of the statistics. It can handle 26 languages, 100+ million users, And then very popular, 1 million users in just 5 days. More male than female when it comes to users. And there are 2 versions where Chat-GPT is trained using GPT 3.5, while the Plus users, the Chat-GPT Plus, access GPT-4 from March 2023. These are some of the differences between 3.5 and version 4. Some are similar and some are additional. I don't want to go to detail, but these are comparison between the 2 versions of 3.5 and 4. So how are they used? As I mentioned just now, it's more on the conversation. So what, in terms of education, they can check plagiarism, proofread. That's why some students maybe use Chat-GPT to improve their proofreading, the brainstorming ideas, to explain concept, because you ask them, they give answers, so you can get understanding of the concept and clarifying information. That's the good thing about Chat-GPT. When it comes to the industry, it helps to industry players to personalize learning analytics, instant feedback, 24/7, and then also human-like engagement. Some of the challenges of Chat-GPT, one is on data hallucination. What I mean by data hallucination, it basically can basically produce answers based on false and inaccurate data. So if you feed data that is not accurate, so the outcome is also not accurate. So this is what we call the data hallucination. Questionable references, because Chat-GPT, they just basically based on the data being fed to them. So if the references or the source are not credible, it's still included in that, in their reference. So as a result, it may not be credible enough. High possibility of bias, because it's based on the data that is being given. If the data is biased, then the outcome also will be biased. So it's not free from biases and stereotype. It's also lack of creativity, because it doesn't relate replicate human being. It's just processing data. It cannot create originality, new ideas, hypotheses, etc. Okay, so lack of empathy, to understand emotion, empathize individuals. Also limited domain knowledge, because it is being trained on a wide variety of texts, but maybe not have specialized knowledge in certain particular domain. And very dependence on the technology, which may contribute to growing reliance on technology over the human abilities, and only work when it is connected. So when it's connected, only then we can make use of it. So these are some of the examples I mentioned just now. Data hallucination, in terms of the made-up reference, and then biasness. So while we talk about the use to do a lot of things to help in many things, for example, just now I showed about in education, but still we have to be wary. Not everything is 100% accurate. Because of the fact that it can happen cases like this, hallucination, biasness, etc. So Chat-GPT is amazing, but it still has flaws. So we can ask it to produce engaging, informative content, but we must be careful. Just like a human, Chat-GPT can lie also, because if the data is not right, not accurate, not right, then it can produce the same outcome, which is also not right. So if we are not careful or become too trusting with what this AI says, it can lead to potential errors, misinformation, and even harmful consequences. So in the context of cybersecurity, in artificial intelligence, we see that cybersecurity is a shared responsibility, and it boils down to this. In cybersecurity, the more systems we secure, the more secure we all are. So we have to work together, not just depending totally on the machine, but human factor is also very critical, in fact, very crucial when it comes to making a decision, the right decision. But then we have to also understand how to make use of the relevant technologies, the quantum, quantitative computing, predictive analysis, advanced analytics, etc., and the need to have the AI for security because of the ability of terms of speed, the accuracy, predict vulnerabilities, real-time response, pattern recognition, and multitasking. So some of the cybersecurity measures include, for example, defense in-depth, zero trust approach, cyber hygiene, multi-factor authentication, good security policy, and also awareness and training. So how do we protect, especially the from the AI-based cyber attacks and threats? For example, I think we know about CAPTCHA, where suddenly we ask, is this, can you click on the bicycles? So maybe they show photos and then there are bicycles, 3 bicycles. So you have to click on that. You're updating CAPTCHA and authentication method so as to help to prevent the AI-driven attacks. Also strengthening and revising device strategy, defense in-depth, and then comprehensive incidents response plan, and also maybe use simulation and exercise to test and reevaluate strategies and to ensure tactics meet the latest challenges. Okay, how do we in cybersecurity in Malaysia manage issue of cybersecurity and even AI technology? Well, we have a program called Cyber CASA, stands for Program Pemerkasaan Keselamatan Cyber, that looks into all the elements of people, process, and technology together. Because we see that cybersecurity is not just about technology, not just depending on tools such as leveraging on AI, but it's also about human and also process and technology come together into one. Second, we focus also the importance of human being, the people element, by giving them the awareness and training through Cyber Safe, Cyber Guru, and Global ACE. And then the engagement process, where we work together with various stakeholders, because we know in cybersecurity you cannot work alone. You have to work with the legislation people, the policy bodies, enforcement entities, the universities on R&D and talent development, the communities, and even with other industry players who help to develop the growth of the industry. And we have to ensure that our cyber CASA align to the national agenda, supporting the cybersecurity strategy, digital economy blueprint, etc., etc. And we shouldn't be just being responsive. We need to strengthen the proactive capabilities, and this is where the leveraging of AI is important, so that we can strengthen our defense against the various cyber threats there. So in general, while as a reminder, while using Chat-GPT, it is important that it generates responses based on the patterns and information that we present, that it was trained on. So it doesn't have the real-time access to the internet or the ability to verify accuracy. So data hallucination that I mentioned just now is real. Therefore, cross-checking information obtained from Chat-GPT is important. And then also human intervention is needed. And finally, in conclusion, I've already used up my 20 minutes. The AI technology will undoubtedly revolutionize the way we conduct our lives. The existence of this technology will continue to evolve. You will see more and more advancement in this technology, just like we see just now Chat-GPT from 3.5. We also have 4.0, and later on many other versions. Therefore, but at the same time, it is important to ensure that the use of AI is done responsibly and ethically under the human supervision, so that it does not become a serious threat. So AI is not about replacing human beings. In fact, they have to work together. Their strength in managing the repetitive task, and this is where the automation using AI is very crucial to help to facilitate. But still, it all subject to the human who will make the final decision and the final call. This is why human being and AI have to work together. And in the context of cybersecurity, we should also make use of AI in cybersecurity to counter the AI threats that I have highlighted just now and getting more and more advanced. With that, thank you. And I pass back to you, Azizi. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share, especially the industry perspective with regards to AI and also Chat-GPT. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dato', for the sharing. Okay, let's shift our focus to academic, Dr. Jafrizal. And could you elaborate on how Chat-GPT has impacted academic, especially in terms of aiding students in research, providing valuable learning assistance?
Okay, thank you, Azizi, and thank you, Dato'. I think you have a great info about ChatGPT, AI, and so forth. So for me, I just want to add little bit on the one that Dato' Amiruddin have presented, which is why suddenly AI explode. I can say for the past 3-4 years it's explode. If I'm doing my PhD in AI, so I'm doing my research in physiology and so forth. During that time, AI is like research that tak ada masa depan lah, orang kata dia tak explode. Okay, there is a reason why it is important, but it doesn't explode during that time because a reason. One is the computer infrastructure are very expensive during that time, and the performance is not that good. Okay, you want to do AI, you need to invest on supercomputer, which is very expensive, and then the output is not so great as now. Okay, second thing is software become very complex from time to time. Okay, now people cannot be rich in selling hardware. People are rich because selling software, which is be able to do so many things. Okay, people are licensed the software and so forth. And then the third one, I agree with Dato' just now, is the interconnectivity. Okay, we have now internet, IoE, Internet of Everything. We have cloud computing. We have distributed computing. You name it. All these are contribute to make it things AI become wonders in academic, in industry, and as part, I can say, as part of our life. We cannot run away from that. But okay, at the same time, as today's session, I've been asked how is impact the academics. Okay, it is as basic of computing, you know, I think Azazi is computing background, we learn about data, we learn about informations, we learn about knowledge. Okay, so how we translate data to be informations and informations to be a knowledge. Okay, once you translate this to be a knowledge and information, the thing is now where to store this. So you need to preserve this knowledge and informations beside the data. Okay, kalau contoh paling mudah lah, kalau dalam Excel tu, kalau you tengok row and column, that is data. Yeah. But once you process to plot a graph, it becomes information. But once you write an essay article about that graph, what this graph is trying to tell you is become a knowledge. Okay, so that is transition. So that is what people do in the university, in the academic world. You process the data, you get info, and it becomes a knowledge. Now, knowledge is everywhere. Okay, so I'm as an academic, as a lecturer, I'm doing research. So library is not looking at the book, is not one of the source. It can be a multiple source. Okay, so I need a tools who can give me answer quick. Alright, beside looking for literature review, saya rasa semua sudah faham kan, you kena pergi library, cari artikel, jurnal, buku dan sebagainya. Tapi dalam kelas tiba-tiba there is a question asking, for example, what is AI? So you need a tool. So Chat-GPT be able to answer that quick, and it's help you to understand things easier, faster. Kadang-kadang you know better than the lecturer. Okay, because of that, now the teaching and learning have changed, have revolutionized. The way we teach are not the same as before. Zaman saya belajar dulu, tahun 93 dekat UTM, I masuk kelas, I bawa kertas dan pen sahaja. Okay.
Now this iPad.
Now you have iPad and so forth. So lecturer give you slide for you to refer. For me during that time, no. Kalau I tak salin dekat papan hitam tu matilah I. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, but the good thing, when we have all these resources from Chat-GPT, internet, Google, Wikipedia, online database, and so forth, the way we learn and teach are different. Now, people are moving toward student-centered. Okay, lecturer become facilitator. Okay, that is the two keywords. Saya masuk kelas, I not teaching boring lecture anymore. Okay, I give 10 minutes of lecture, but the rest is discussions. And from these discussions, you can create more info to the student and share with all the students in the class. So that will create, when you do assignment, for example, okay, more information come in. You can grade assignment, you get more info, but the challenge is one thing. You cannot directly code from whatever source that you got, from Chat-GPT ke, Wikipedia ke, online database. But the challenge now as a student, as a lecturer, and so how you process this knowledge and information to become something that meaningful in your context. Okay, that is the real things when we in the academy. I cannot say we don't say Chat-GPT is bad for the students. Okay, because there is a country like Australia. I think I got an article last year. Ban no more online assignment. Dekat Australia you kena handwritten because of dia nak elak plagiarism and so forth. For me, it's up to university punya philosophy. But the main thing is not about how you submit your assignment, but how you process and produce a good assignment. Okay, that is the most important thing that I feel required, have changed the way we learn, the way we teach, and also the way we gather, retrieve informations. And the most important thing for students and other people is how to process these informations and knowledge to be something meaningful in your context. Okay, so another but even though there is a quite numbers of benefits and so forth, as you can see, but there is some difficulties that challenge as academic. Okay, macam Dr. Amarudin kata tadi plagiarism, okay, tiru ni kan, you cut and paste. Okay, so that is an issue. Okay, but the thing is, why it's happened because we not be able as academic to train student to process those informations. Okay, dia nak cari shortcut lah, buat assignment, last esok nak hantar, pagi malam ni baru buat. Okay, but if we train them as a student, hunger for knowledge, then they will use that as a good way of learning process. Okay, with these all resources, kami dekat universiti ni sebenarnya we try to learning curve tu supaya lagi cepat. Okay, all the basic you can learn by yourself. So we are focusing on more details of those all this subject and so forth. Okay, the thing is now is one, the drawback is the apa tadi plagiarism. Second one is you use Chat-GPT, dia tak ada human tau. It's a machine. Dia machine. Dia tak ada soul. Okay, jiwa. So you tanya, dia jawab. Dia sebiji macam you tanya robot. So Chat-GPT is actually a robot. It's just a virtual robot. Okay, you tanya satu campur satu, dia jawab satu campur satu. Tapi dia tak, kalau kita tanya rambutan warna merah campur dengan satu rambutan warna merah campur dengan satu rambutan warna kuning, jawapan dia berapa? Chat-GPT akan jawab jawapan dia 2. As a human, we can elaborate more. Oh, jawapannya adalah 2. Di mana kita ada 2 rambutan, satu warna merah dan satu warna kuning. Tapi kalau kita nak panjangkan lagi, bagi kat biologis, kalau dikacukkan dia, mungkin jadi rambutan warna orange. In the future. So human is there. Human touch is there. So dia rasa, oh, dengan mencampur kita akan berasa lagi sedap. So you expand the knowledge from time to time, walaupun benda tu kadang-kadang it's just a imaginasi ataupun dia punya assumption, but it's trigger in the future. It might be possible to be done on that way. Okay, basically. Alright, so that is human part of it. Lagi satu, ethics, macam Dato' Amirudin kata tadi. Okay, dia tak tahu benda itu salah ataupun betul. Okay, kita tanyalah apa pun, Chat-GPT akan jawab directly. Okay, betul kan salah? So we as a human need to have ethics to process the information, either to accept that knowledge and information or not. Okay, so that is critical. So that's why dalam curriculum universiti dekat Malaysia ni kita belajar ethics, computer ethics, cyber security untuk beri skill dan maklumat kepada pelajar dan orang ramai, kaedah untuk membezakan yang mana ilmu yang baik dan ilmu yang buruk.
Maybe Prof, dia macam we can call it a soul.
Soul, jiwa. Okay, betul. Saya setuju dengan ni. So Chat-GPT dia tak ada jiwa, tapi kita sebagai penerima maklumat dan pada masa yang sama generate maklumat, perlu ada jiwa supaya maklumat yang dikeluarkan tu adalah maklumat yang baik. Saya tak kata maklumat yang negatif tu adalah maklumat yang tidak baik. Maklumat negatif tu adalah maklumat yang walaupun dia negatif, kita boleh proses dia menjadi sebagai tauladan untuk maklumat yang baik.
Yes.
Okey, yang tu yang penting sebagai student, lecturer, researcher and so forth. Tapi kami dekat university, the best thing with this AI and so forth is about revolutionize our teaching and learning in university, schools and so forth. At the same time, dia increase the learning curve tu. Yang tu yang penting tu.
Yes.
Kita dah tak payah nak terang satu-satu belajar programming contohnya kan, you nak kena satu-satu. Sekarang ni kita dah belajar basic and they go more advanced by having this GitHub and so forth. So it's really help.
The style of the teaching, the style
of
the
learning
so
dah berubah. Kita kadang-kadang tengok student dalam kelas, saya tengok student bawa iPad ni semua kan. Dia orang ni tengok saya ke tengok iPad. Tapi bila saya tanya soalan dia boleh jawab.
Yeah.
Maksudnya dia menerima maklumat, dia verify
Immediate.
immediate. Dia dapat maklumat daripada saya, ilmu, dia proses dan dia verify balik adakah betul apa yang saya cakap menggunakan tools-tools yang ada dalam Chat-GPT dan sebagainya. Dan saya rasa itu tak salah. Dia tak perlu concern sir, you cakap salah lah. Kami dapat ni. Saya sebagai pensyarah saya perlu akui bukan saya tak tahu semua.
Yes.
So dan pada masa itu saya patut bersyukur kerana saya mendapat maklumat baru di mana dan kelas saya aktif. Dia stay in the class and with me during the class and session. I think that's the great things about all this technology, AI and so forth. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, for the quick, the brief instruction about how this Chat-GPT or AI impact the academic. Okay, back to Datuk, yang bahagian Datuk, Dr. Amin Nurdin. Okay, Datuk, do you know, because you are from cybersecurity, you are CEO of cybersecurity, and then maybe can I ask you, how has the integration of this Chat-GPT impacted the cybersecurity industry in terms of threat detection and prevention? And also what the challenges or opportunity does it bring to organization?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Azizi. Actually, Chat-GPT has the potential to revolutionize the way the Security Operations Center or SOC operate. Yeah, because one thing kalau kita tengok Chat-GPT ni, dia can help in terms of automating routine tasks. Yeah, sebab dia punya capabilities tu. Jadi kalau routine task, macam contohnya log analysis, benda ni kita boleh get Chat-GPT to handle. And then jadi bila routine task ni handle by Chat-GPT, jadi manusia, the human can focus, the human analysis for example can focus on the complex and high priority punya case lah. So that's one. The other thing with Chat-GPT, it can help also to identify and investigate security incident. So that's one. And another one, dia juga Chat-GPT ni can help to provide real-time access to information. Jadi will enable the SOC to respond to security incident agak cepat lah. So that's some of the element how Chat-GPT, integration of Chat-GPT boleh impact dan membantu industri cybersecurity. At the same time, kita tahu dia ada capabilities of processing data. Jadi Chat-GPT can comprehend and also evaluate vast volumes of data in real time. Jadi this will help enhance the precision with which the SOC can identify and address the threats. The other thing also, Chat-GPT can assist in multiple analysis in single conversation. That's the strength lah. Jadi dia boleh handle large volume of requests. Jadi this will enable SOC to scale the operations needed to accommodate changing demands. At the same time, kita tahu juga cyber criminal pun dia guna AI juga. Jadi apa AI sebenarnya can quickly identify the pattern and trend in cyber attacks. Dia help to predict future threats and even recommend appropriate countermeasures. Jadi kita boleh gunalah untuk apa orang kata simulate dan test the various scenarios. So these are some of the apa orang kata the benefit or the impact when it comes to integration by Chat-GPT AI into the cybersecurity industry. Cuma dia ada challenges lah, as I mentioned earlier, ada issue of data hallucination, yang tadi tu leading to inaccurate result, ada biasness, ada isu data privacy and security, dan juga integration dengan other system dan sebagainya. Jadi ini some of the challenges lah. But generally, like I said, we can try to leverage and make use of the technology. But at the same time, we have to be wary. There are also limitations in terms of using them. But then it will help for us to manage task yang memang lebih sesuai lah dihandle oleh machine lah dibandingkan dengan human. So that human can focus on the apa orang kata the more priority, more high priority cases rather than just the repeating, because bila kita repetition ni memang kita tends to have a human error. So itu je lah.
Okay, terima kasih Yang Bahagia Datuk. Thank you. Sebenarnya actually we have at the end after the session we have a Q&A from the audience. But suddenly I read a new question. This is from Tan Sri Nur Azlan Ghazali. Okay, Tan Sri Nur Azlan is our chairman for the board USAS. So actually the question from Tan Sri also same what I want to ask Dr. Jafrizal. Actually about the question is okay, Tan Sri Nur Azlan comment kata very challenging world to live to deepfake world, and then how best academia to proceed with this advancement of AI, and what should be priority in academia? What changes are recommended to traditional delivery of academia? Ada tiga sekali Dr. Tan Sri Nur Azlan tanya.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe Datuk pun if you want to answer Tan Sri Nur Azlan question, maybe after this I can give you a chance, or maybe after Dr. Jafrizal answer.
Thank you, Azizi. Thank you, Tan Sri, for I think that is a very relevant question lah as an academic. First is about how do we proceed with this advancement of AI. Okay, we know AI or computing or IT technology ini dia moving, I can say too fast and very fast. Okay, so computer pun actually in 3 years then you will not be able to use anymore because advancement of the software and so how we should proceed this. So you cannot deny, you cannot stop it because you need to be part of teaching and learning. Okay, one way of having that a source of information. Okay, but now how to proceed is first is how to help our student to use this AI and Chat-GPT in a proper way. Okay, so not overuse. Okay, have soul macam Cik Azizi kata tadi. So that is important. Okay, but the challenge now is most of us in Malaysia, we are just a user. Okay, maksudnya kita guna benda yang dah apa yang ada. We are not part of the contributor, innovator of this technology. Okay, so that I feel that this is the time where we become part of AI community who produce new technology as part of Chat-GPT punya community dan sebagainya, and part of the knowledge base yang Chat-GPT use to contribute to store those knowledge and so forth. I believe in Malaysia there is quite numbers of AI experts in almost all university. Even though now kalau tengok dalam rancangan Malaysia bajet yang lepas, Perdana Menteri telah umumkan kita nak tubuhkan Faculty of AI dekat UTM. They've been awarded, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 20 juta kot. 20 million for that. So I think that's a great, because I believe government have feel that we cannot be just a user. We need to be a contributor, as a computing expert, and so we are become the innovator, but others become the user. Okay, the thing is, once you become the innovator, so you can make the technology as you wish. That is the great one. So Malaysian version of Chat-GPT, we have soul, we are good informations and so forth. So that is how we can proceed. First, become innovator of the technology. Second, we need to train our student and society how to use this in ethical manner. Okay, because we cannot run of it. Okay, what should to be prioritized in academia? I cannot say that AI is everything. I cannot say ChatGPT everything. I cannot say other knowledge, skills, informations are everything. But the most important thing is how to integrate and correlate all this to be one single source, which is benefits to the user or students and lecturers and so forth. For me, that is really, really important. So semua ada kepentingan masing-masing. So kita tak boleh kata ChatGPT is the priority. No, you ask me, no. It's just help. Macam tadi dalam kelas kita guna to get quick informations, verify information. That's it. But the learning of processing those information are the most important thing. Okay. Then how traditional delivery? I kata traditional delivery ni sekarang ni kalau banyak universiti dah belajar, dah go for flipped classroom contohnya.
Accept this kind of culture.
Culture, teaching methodology, teaching pedagogy, flipped classroom for example. Then we have problem-based learning. Kan? So masuk dalam kelas sekarang ni kita dah tak payah bercakap daripada kalau sejam tu daripada minit pertama sehingga minit terakhir dah. Okay, so the more discussion being curated, but the challenge is depends on the subject. Sometimes you need to do mass lecture, sometimes you need to do groups. Okay, tapi saya suka. Saya pernah melawat Cambridge, saya pernah melawat Oxford. Cara dia orang berbeza dengan kita. Okay, bagi mereka lecture tak compulsory. So lecture sejam aja. Tapi tutorial adalah sesuatu yang wajib hadir. Kalau tak hadir wajib, you tak boleh make exam. Maksudnya discussion di tutorial dan lab tu more important, where this is all this integration of tools, ChatGPT AI is mandatory during that time, because they encourage people to discuss, come out, throw their idea and synthesis to be a meaningful knowledge and assignment project that they have produced. I think in Malaysia kita tak buat that mode lagi lah, tapi we are moving towards flipped classroom, blended learning, problem-based learning, and so nama dah the list of that. I think that's a good move. So kalau kita tak ni, kita mungkin tertinggal. Mungkin kita boleh tambahlah tadi, kita kurangkan lecture, tambahkan tutorial dan lab, kurangkan exam, final exam dan sebagainya.
Okay, thank you Dr. Javier. Maybe Datuk, you want to add more a little bit about this, because I believe Datuk also become an adjunct professor for certain university. Maybe you also in the academic landscape, in academic area. Maybe you want to add something?
Okay, terima kasih. Thank you, Cik Azizi. Basically, to me, we at the academician should pursue the AI field. As I mentioned earlier, AI is a double-edged sword. It's not just AI. I would say all technologies is a double-edged sword. What does it mean? It has the good and the bad. Yeah, you can't avoid it. For example, if you have a knife, it's a technology to cut fruits, vegetables, which is good. But the same knife can be used to hurt and injure people, even kill people. So you can't avoid. You still have to face it. Similarly, with AI, I've mentioned just now the good and the bad, the advantages and disadvantages. Like it or not, the academician has to pursue towards this. I'd like to give an example. For example, in my experience as a cybersecurity practitioner, I went to one of the colleges, one of the polytechnics in Singapore, Nanyang Polytechnic, if I'm not mistaken, many years ago. What's the important is the element of incorporating human element in academics, in cybersecurity, for example. Okay, when I went there, they make a mandatory subject, not only on ethical and law, but also to make a trip. Okay, for cybersecurity courses, to make a trip to prison. It's a polytechnic, yeah, and it's a compulsory. And you know why? Because the reason is that they want to tell the students, this skill that you are learning in this polytechnic, it can be used to defend organization, but the same skill set can be used to attack and harm other people and other organization. So if you do harm, if you do illegally doing things that are illegal, then this is the place, the prison. Okay, and so that's what I mentioned just now. The element of technology is important. We need them, but humans still the one in charge. It has to come together. So similarly, in the context of AI, I mentioned just now the advantages and disadvantages, and academic has to pursue this, but we have to incorporate the element of ethics and law when it comes to AI, for example, because with AI, like I said just now, it can do many things. Yeah, I can also, if I am not happy with Dr. Jeff, I can create just like Arnold Schwarzenegger with Alice in the Wonderland, and show to someone, look, Dr. Jeff is doing blah 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 blah, which is negative. And that's ethical issues. So these are things that, like it or not, it is not about one replace another. It's about working together, but it is still all about human, regardless of what technology. Similarly, even in cybersecurity, it's all about people. So that is important. And if we decide not to pursue, I think we are the one who will be at loss, because technology will keep changing and it will not wait for you. Yeah, but just how you manage and stress the importance of people. And that's why, for example, if you see how we approach cybersecurity also, people is at the heart. Yeah, and similarly in the context of AI, yeah, because they are just machines. You feed them, they process, and they produce output. Yeah, but then human is the one that can have the wisdom, the knowledge, the hikmah, whatever, that can make the right decision, the best decision, inshallah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dato'. Maybe this is our my last question to both panel. Okay, in terms of when we're talking about AI, we're talking about this Chat-GPT. One is the most, I think, the most important thing currently bila kita masuk dalam in Malaysia. The first one in top application TikTok, Facebook, and now I believe the second one is Chat-GPT right now. Chat-GPT. Everybody looking for, okay, nak pergi makan, soalan, email, surat, and everything. Even though for academic question and so on, Chat-GPT. Maybe could you, Dr. Jafriza, could you shed light on the challenges concerning quality controls, biases, and also ethical consideration utilizing Chat-GPT within academic environment?
Okay, thank you, Azizi. I think this is I say a debate among academics about this Chat-GPT lah. Ada a group of scholars saying pro about it, some group of scholars saying kontra lah, dia tak setuju and so forth. Tapi for me it doesn't matter, because you have your own philosophy why you decide that and so forth. And also at the same time you need to understand where this Chat-GPT being used. Okay, for example, if you're talking about in education, ini paling takut sekali ialah tiru itulah tadi, plagiarism. The most powerful technology in the world is copy and paste.
Copy and paste.
So semua orang tahu tu, right click, copy, paste, and so forth. Okay, but now how to overcome that? Okay, how to overcome that? For example, assessment method in the university need to be changed. Okay, so you cannot rely 100% on final exam anymore. Okay, so you can blend with open book exam. Okay, we did this in my university. Several subjects, lecture request to have an open book. So the question with open book is, are you allowing just the books and notes or internet, Chat-GPT and so forth? Okay, there is a classes we allowed them to access all this internet and so forth. But the challenge now, One is not just to the student to answer the question, but the challenge for the lecturer is to create
Create
the
the question.
questions itself. So the skill of the lecture have changed. Skill dulu you boleh buat multiple choice. What is blah blah, tanda A, B, C, D.
Define and so on.
define tu you tak lah. Tapi sekarang ni it need to be open ended. Walaupun dia ada Chat-GPT ke, internet ke, jawapan tu tak ada kat situ.
You have to trick
You
creative
need to
thinking.
think and solve the problem and start do the coding. The coding ke apa essay ke and so forth. So skill of information processing are important there. So the way we need to move from traditional to new way of assessment, for example, here that we need to see on that. Okay, that is the challenge that we have. So, but at the same time, I do agree we need to control the copy and paste too. Tapi the most important to from your after you copy and paste into a document, how you come up with the good reasoning of that text.
The way the assessment.
The way the assessment. Okay, dia macam ni Azizi, kalau kita tengok kita boleh plot graph kita nampak graph tu naik turun dan sebagainya. Ya, graph tu tak penting bagi saya. Yang penting ni
How to get.
graph tu nak bagi tahu apa?
Okay. Elaborate more on the explanation.
Kita tak boleh kata graph tu naik, graph tu turun. Oh, hari ni gaji rakyat Malaysia dah naik turun. Betul lah dari graph tu dia naik turun. Tapi apa maksud tersirat naik dan turun tu?
Yes.
So that is
The knowledge behind that.
it. So you ask the student to think what beyond what they see and so forth. So for me that is important. So that will enrich the way we learn in the university ke dekat sekolah ke. So as when we take it as a tools, not replacing the existing lecturer, because Chat-GPT dia tak boleh buat supervision. for sure kan. So lecturer need to do supervise. So as a lecturer, I have a role to play. I need to supervise them how to get a good information, synthesis information and so forth. Okay, ramai orang buat PhD contohnya, dan tak ramai ada yang tak sampai ke tahap. One of the, based on my experience, is one of the reason is they not be able to translate the information they got to something
To
new,
knowledge.
to knowledge. Okay, so to the knowledge. I think that is the most important, one of the important.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Maybe the last question also to yang bagi Datuk. Maybe on this issue also ethical consideration. Maybe you can elaborate on the ethical consideration and potential risk associated with employing Chat-GPT or similar language model in cyber security practice, and also and how the regulatory framework adapting to ensure responsible and secure use in the industry. Because I believe Singapore currently have their AI, or we call AI council to come for the policy and framework. I don't think Malaysia, I don't know, maybe we have that council or we have that framework already or not. Maybe Datuk, you can explain about this.
Okay, terima kasih. Thank you, Mr. Azizi. When it comes to ethical consideration for Chat-GPT, I think the concern that I have highlighted earlier, I like to stress it, especially on the biasness. Because bias ni, they lead to unjust outcomes. Dia boleh lead to discrimination, court ruling mungkin tak betul, bias, ataupun mungkin promotion, employment, dia akan effect lah. So that's one element yang kita kena faham. And the reason why it is biased, because the data that is being fed, as I mentioned just now, adalah bias. Jadi menyebabkan contohnya kalau orang tu fed data yang bias, jadi itulah keputusannya. Maka the best way, kita kena train. Remember I mentioned just now, tadi kucing boleh jadi anjing, tapi kita train dia jadi anjing, jadi gambar kucing pun jadi anjing. So we have to ensure we train the model properly supaya dia tidak bias, dan kita cover all the diverse orang kata groups, and diversity kena cover to overcome this issue of biasness. Dan at the same time kita kena regularly check lah the model supaya dia tak bias. Jadi very important element of ethical, element aspects of biasness. Kedua, when come to Chat-GPT, dia just like ini ada AI model, dia ni agak kompleks. Jadi sometimes kita tak faham. Itu satu aspek yang mencabar untuk kita nak faham macam mana Chat-GPT ni dihasilkan output tu. Kita tak tahu. Sebab ada lack of transparency when comes to how they develop hasilkan output tu. Jadi sedangkan dia punya consequence decision dia tu penting. Jadi that's why dia ada lack of transparency di situ yang kita kena handle lah. Kena manage because of the part of the element of element of ethical tadi. The model is being trained as such. Kita pun tak tahu the complexity yang ada dalam tu. Hasil dia gitu-gitu. Tapi dia problematic. Dan ini satu isu element of ethical. Dan another one is on issue of privacy and security. Sebab dia collect data, dia dapat macam-macam data. Kadang-kadang data tu data yang mungkin umum, tapi ada juga mungkin data-data yang sensitif. Data-data yang anggap macam private. Diambil juga. Dikumpulkan. Benda ni menyebabkan ada isu lack of accountability. If anything goes wrong or any error occurs, kita nak bagi responsibility dia bertanggungjawab tu susah. Ni some of the elements of ethical issues dalam AI, dalam Chat-GPT dan sebagainya. Sebab itulah kita tak boleh terlalu bergantung, tapi pada masa yang sama kita mengambil kira aspek elemen moral tadi, etik tadi. Dalam konteks negara, isu AI ini adalah di bawah Kementerian Sains, Teknologi dan Inovasi. Mereka sedang bekerjasama dengan pihak-pihak dalam dan luar negara untuk membangunkan regulation berkaitan tentang AI ni lah dari segi etik dan sebagainya. Jadi ini antara benda yang actually been driven by MOSTI lah. Cuma input dia akan incorporate daripada pelbagai lah, termasuk akademia, industri dan sebagainya. Cuma one thing lah, macam saya kata tadi, any technology including AI, Chat-GPT dan sebagainya, dia ada kelemahan. We don't terima sebulat-bulatnya. Dia membantu. Tapi janganlah kita kata inilah mutlak. Apa yang dipredik, apa yang disebut, apa yang didecide itu betul segala-galanya. Tidak. Kita kadang-kadang rasa, Chat-GPT cakap begini, betul lah tu. Itu tak betul lah. Itu by itself is wrong ethically. They help to facilitate, but not necessarily. You have to verify banyak benda lagi. Then that's why I mentioned just now, the human element is very crucial in these aspects. We have to remember, apa-apa pun is all about people, about human being. Technology is all about human being, regardless of whatever technology. Don't forget that. It's not about AI replacing human being and vice versa macam Terminator. It's all about how we work together, but still the one in charge is human being. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you Yang Bagaitu, and also Dr. Jafriza. Maybe after this we have a short break. Before we conclude, maybe let's open the floor for question from our audience. And also for the audience, feel free to type your question in the chat box, and we will address as many as possible in the time remaining. Okay, so we have a short break. Okay, we are back. So we have a few questions here from the audience. Okay, maybe I can read one of it is from Timmy Liins. Oyekola. Okay, it's well known among school that students tend to rely on Chat-GPT and or other AI tools to complete their assignment or tasks which impact the development of their creativity and problem solving skill. So the question is, what can be done to solve to or reduce the usage of AI tool in school? Can we remove this, Doc? Or Dato? Maybe we start with Dr. Jafriza first, and then after that I go to Dato.
Okay, thank you for the question. My personal opinion, to remove AI or ChatGPT from school or in education, education I think it's almost impossible lah for nowadays, because of it's become one of the part of source of information, quick information. Okay, but the challenge now is the information in ChatGPT, is it been verified or not? Okay, it been validated or verified. Okay, so as a student, when you completing those assignment, for example, you cannot take 100% from ChatGPT, for example. Okay, you need to verify either this is the right information or not. Okay, at the same time, you need to digest and synthesize those information with other resources as well. Okay, for example, from articles, journals, web page, and so forth. So it become then only it become a great assignment. Because of if you just use one source, if you ask me to get B or C is there, but to get A is almost impossible. Because we want to see how your creativity, how you synthesis those knowledge to put on paper and write a good assignments here. Okay, so if you ask me, basically, if you directly copy and paste, that will kill your creativity. But if you use ChatGPT plus with other resources, database, katakan journal and so forth, then will create creativity to you, because you synthesize and come up with the good assignment based on your perceptions, what you gain and what you write are the most valuable.
When we create also the new knowledge.
The new knowledge and so forth. So you bagi you punya pendapat, bukan you dapat pendapat you daripada ChatGPT tu je. Okay, that's how you differentiate how either is kill or not kill the creativity.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Doctor. So in Dato, ada satu soalan maybe dari student ni. Should we as a student, macam soalan lebih kurang sama, should we as student tidak menggunakan langsung Chat-GPT due to tidak ketepatan? It means that in term of dia punya data tu data accuracy. Dia cakap ketidakpatatan atau masih dibenarkan? Itu soalan dia. Silakan Dato'.
Okay. Bila sebut Chat-GPT ni, siapa-siapa pun boleh pakai. Tapi tujuan kita share info tentang Chat-GPT, dia punya kekuatan dan kelemahan, supaya kita ambil maklum. Contohnya tadi dari segi aspek accuracy, kan? Jadi bermakna kita tak boleh bergantung pada satu sumber untuk kita punya kajian. Kita kena verify. And part of the kerja sebagai student, as a student, is you have to verify, you have to get from various sources. So, but then you cannot depend totally on one source, which is ChatGPT. It can help to facilitate, but you know about, just now I highlighted about the lack of transparency, about biasness, about data hallucination, data poisoning. So you understand all those. So we're understanding. So you can still use it, but you have to be cautious, not to use totally and dependent 100% on it. You have to go for other sources to validate. So itu sajalah. Stop. Anyone can actually no one is I would say being regulated to stop or not using ChatGPT. Even if you have a regulation, who is going to enforce? Because it's everywhere, it's available. So it's about you. Kalau nak ada self-regulation, yes, that's you. It's up to you to make the call to use or not to use ChatGPT. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Dato'. Maybe ialah student bila dia cakap tak boleh guna, you cannot use, they are afraid not using or it or not can use it or not. Tapi the question is from lecturer pula. Lecturer side dia kata, how do you detect that assignment ataupun all the assignment assessment ni come from Chat-GPT? Is there any tools juga yang AI to detect this or what?
Okay, I think that is a great question lah. Among semua soalan-soalan yang tanya jadi yang paling best telefon. Okay. So kita macam mana, how we detect either this is cut and paste lah, copy and paste works or not. Okay, there is a tools like turn in and so forth. You can use that tools. Okay, so but for me as a lecturer, when I read student assignment, I can feel that this is copy and paste or not. Okay, why? Because suddenly average performance of your student in your class. Suddenly, the English is so super good. So it might trigger you something that, wow, if this kind of language that you use, I don't think so. The student will be here. He will be in UK, Harvard, or somewhere. Okay, you know that. Okay, but for me, so that there is two ways. Either as a lecturer, you have your sense to detect that because you know how the scope of your studies, the scope of when you teach in class and so forth, and the way performance of the student it can be detect easily. Okay, and then you can feel in the class semua orang jawab benda yang sama.
The way the pattern
is the same. So you know that. So the role as a lecturer is to come up with open-ended question. So bila open-ended question ni, setiap student bila menjawab tu, Allah ni is great. Tak ada orang yang boleh mengarang karangan semua sama. Almost impossible. Walaupun maklumatnya sama, tapi the way you write is different. Okay, so that you can see how olahan of maklumat tu penting dalam when producing this assignment. Tapi untuk mendapatkan isi assignment tu, macam Dr. Amiruddin kata tadi pun, saya pun ada amat penting. You cannot rely on a single source. That is the keyword. You boleh you boleh cite, you letaklah reference kat situ. Lecturer tak okay, tak ada masalah. Oh, you ambil ini daripada sini. Tapi daripada caption tu, yang you cite tu, apa dia nak ceritakan? Yang tu yang kami nak tengok sebenarnya.
Okay, thank you Datuk. Datuk, soalan daripada salah seorang audien ni, because of dia kata Datuk show about deepfake just now dalam Datuk punya slide. Dia kata kalau macam sekarang boleh buat macam tu, so macam mana di cyber security sekarang, our regulation, our rules dekat in our country, in term of cyber security Malaysia, macam mana cyber security Malaysia detect benda tu? Itu yang saya boleh summary lah soalannya.
Okay, terima kasih Cik Azizi. Cyber Security Malaysia, kita adalah agensi teknikal keselamatan cyber negara. Dan kita memang telah lama bekerjasama dengan pihak penguatkuasa, law enforcement agencies lah, when it comes to criminal cases. Kita ada lab yang cover not only on mobile and computer forensic, kita ada juga audio dan video, multimedia, biometric forensic dan sebagainya. In fact, we have the largest portfolio of digital forensic in the country. Jadi, one of the role of this forensic lab is about to verify authenticity of audio, video dan sebagainya. Jadi di Cyber Security Malaysia kita ada satu lab yang kita panggil MySAF, Malaysia Security Evaluation Facility. Kita memang tengah buat, kita memang ada kajian which mengenai deepfake ini, AI based. Dan actually I can make if you come to the lab, lab ni kita agak eksklusif lah, kita tak buka public lah. Tapi I can tell you, I can make you Azizi 80 years or 70 years old. I can also make you like 20 years old, younger. If you see the lab,
okay. Don't make me as a penjenayah cukup.
So what I mean is that we did study this, and then this is where we comes in and do the validation, whether this is deepfake or not deepfake, whether it's real or not, and this will be then be brought to the court, to verify. Jadi orang boleh claim dia kata AI lah, dia boleh kata deepfake lah, apalah. Tapi dari segi kami akan based on our labnya ni, based on the percentage of accuracy allowed by the court. In fact, our expert are recognized by law under the Criminal Procedure Code 399 as an expert witness in court to verify cases. Dan memang dah banyak case dah. High profile, low profile, I can tell you we have been doing that behind the scene. Di belakang membantu pihak kuasa, khususnya polis dan sebagainya. So, dalam konteks deepfake juga, insyaAllah, kita juga ada capabilities untuk verify. Normally, this one we deal with the law enforcement agencies lah. Itu je lah to respond to your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dato'. So also we have another question, okay, daripada this is from Abdul Muhaimin. Okay, what could be the opportunity of using Chat-GPT in gaining rank? I mean, in terms of university rank, okay, university rank or academic, or is it academically ethical or not? Maybe lah, saya boleh translate macam tu.
Okay. Okay, thank you Azizi. I think when you say rank, dia ada banyak lah. Satu kita faham mungkin university rank, satu mungkin rank of as a career from junior lecturer and pun ranking juga. Tapi in other words is academically at whatever which rank, either one lah, either university rank ke academic rank ke apa ke. The most important thing as you mentioned in the question is about ethics. As long as you do it, the work or research what you are producing is original from you. You are not claim some other people works that yours. I think that's no harm. Okay, because of the things now is about claiming other people work that it is yours. All right, so that is so tak apa. Chat-GPT, there is a lot of information. You cannot deny that. You cannot stop it because those who are contribute to the Chat-GPT have give their concern to make it open source. Once it's become open source by law lah, kalau tak salah saya, it can be used publicly. So you have no issues on that. It's just that whatever in open source, you cannot claim that the source is yours. Okay, so as long ethically you are claiming your work, originality of your work is yours, I think that there should be no issues. You can climb up the either university ranking or as a professor and so forth. That doesn't make any difference.
As long as it's open source.
As long as it open source, because you can use the open source as a part of way of gaining information and translate to make your own knowledge to contribute to the society.
Okay,
I think ethically, for me, it's okay.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. One question from Datuk Muhammad Hussein Abdullah. Okay, as Chat-GPT is trained using a large amount of text data such as book, articles, and other written material, including some of the training data may be copyrighted. Okay, the question is, maybe this goes to Dato'. What are the concerns related to Chat-GPT? Is the risk of violating intellectual properties, intellectual property rights? So, what is your comment, Dato'? In terms of
Okay, thank you for the question. Macam mana saya kata tadi, one of the issues, ethical issues comes to AI or Chat-GPT ialah isu privacy and security. Okay, jadi because they collect a lot of data, vast information of data from various sources, it could be also ada situ element of IP yang juga dan juga elemen-elemen private information dan sebagainya. Yang ini isunya ialah how do we assign accountability? How do we assign if anything goes wrong? Jadi assigning responsibility itu susah. This is why the regulation of AI itu kena ada. Sebab sekarang ni kalau dalam konteks IP, kita boleh cubalah in terms of kita kena buktikan bahawa AI itu teknologi itu telah ambil dia punya intellectual property lah, copyright ke whatever lah, kan, has been orang kata dicuri contohnya lah, ataupun digunakan, kan. Jadi ini antara cabaran-cabaran dia yang sekarang ini, why we need that regulation on AI, so that we can really protect, because comes to ChatGPT, AI, they just collect everything, vast amount of data, regardless of whether it's public or private information, as long as they can access it. So itulah, so there is no solution, but to me that's a reality that we have to face lah.
Okay, thank you Datuk. Maybe this is the last question. Okay, soalan ni I think related to the academic. Okay, the question is, what about teachers or lecturer who use ChatGPT to make quiz or test question? Even though it is helpful and it is important for teachers to make sure the questions are fair for student knowledge and syllabus. Ini soalan daripada student ni saya rasa.
Okay.
Habis tu dia kata, tambah lagi, dia tambah lagi ni. Because ChatGPT often give complex answer that student find difficult to understand. It become a concern when we have respond to AI generated question in our test.
Okay, alright. Okay. Dia macam ni ya. Kita tak guna ChatGPT untuk buat soalan tau. Tapi kita guna ChatGPT as a tool untuk untuk student menjawab soalan.
Yes, okay.
Okay, tu beza Bukan kita as a lecturer, kita guna ChatGPT, okay, bagi saya soalan tentang AI. So dia akan keluar what is AI, blah blah and so forth. So we don't do that basically. So we the one who create the questions, okay, kita yang gubal soalan tersebut, dan soalan tersebut kita kena tengok tahap dekat mana. Okay, betul soalan statement yang kedua tu kata soalan dia jadi lagi susah apa semua tu, because you create a question without measuring the student ability and scope of that content in class. So you need to correlate these two. Kalau tidak tu, sebab itu saya kata ChatGPT tak boleh create soalan untuk you. You create the soalan.
For that ChatGPT.
For that ChatGPT. Cuma saya ingin bagi di pendapat saya, kalau you dah create soalan, you jangan post dalam ChatGPT. Ada risiko situ, because once you post in ChatGPT, it become knowledge for ChatGPT. Orang akan tahu dah soalan tu dan jawapannya sekali. Okay. Okay. So you need to create your own questions, tapi jawapan tu akan berbeza-beza ikut student. Mustahil. Melainkan matematik. Satu campur satu, dua, you tak boleh ubah. Tapi kalau you kata programming ni, contohnya, programming ni macam menulis essay kalau orang tanya saya. Setiap orang guna variable nama lain and so forth. Okay, so that's
the concept is there, but the type of question can't be different.
Dia boleh. Okay, boleh di ni. Macam quiz you kena tengok dalam kelas. Quiz you bagi kat student berapa minit? 10 minit. 10 soalan, katakan 3 soalan. Okay, kalau 3 soalan tu dalam 10 minit, you kena tengok, you nak buat multiple choice ke short answer. Okay. Kalau short answer dia nak jawab dalam masa 10 minit, insya-Allah dia tak sempat nak tengok apa pun. So that is, you kena tengok pula kalau orang akademik ni dia sebutlah CLO, Bloom taxonomy, you nak access dia apa? Dia punya memory ke, understanding ke, practical skill ke, dan sebagainya. So kalau you katakan complexity of the answer tu, it depends on how you craft based on your syllabus, your student capability in class. You should know that if you buat betul-betul, I believe that the reason that student not be able to answer lah. So that is my view on that.
Okay, this is last. I think this is last. Tadi kan saya ingat ada last ni, ada lagi last. Okay, this is from lecturer actually. The question is, can lecturer accept thesis by ChatGPT from student, for example in terms of final year project thesis or PhD thesis, master thesis?
Kalau saya jawab tu, saya jawab tak boleh lah. Okay, either thesis ke dissertation ke final year project ke, jangan kata final project, even assignment pun tak boleh. Okay, so we cannot kata dapat 100% copy paste from that. That is wrong. Ethically is wrong, academically is wrong. Okay, but what the student should do is not to see shortcut. Dia dapat information sahaja, but they need to write their own in the thesis and so forth.
Generate new.
New. So soalan ke thesis ke apa, that's why when you do a research thesis, katakan PhD thesis, the topic and problem statement is play an important role. This will help you to, dia tak ada jawapan yang straightforward. Kalau GPT dia jawapan straightforward, dia tak ada. So the way you craft the answer, when you craft the reports, the thesis make it different lah.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all for today. Thank you to our panelists and our engaged audience for being part of this insightful discussion. We hope this webinar has provided you with a deeper understanding of the multifaceted role of Chat-GPT, which is played in academia and industry. And please remember, the responsible use of AI technologies like Chat-GPT is crucial for harnessing its potential while addressing ethical consideration. Okay, let's continue this conversation and strive for a future where AI enhance our life in a balanced and ethical manner. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Stay curious and keep exploring the world of AI. Until next time. Okay, goodbye and take care. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Datuk. Thank you yang bahagia, Datuk, and also Professor Dr. Jafrizal for your time.
Thank you.